Hello.
Oh, hello, Ben.
Yeah, we're back doing
Yeah, we
this.
took a week off. We
Yeah,
um we had a lovely weekend in a cabin in the woods, didn't
we
we?
we did. Yeah, we
Yeah,
uh, we made out with some wolves.
yep,
Jordan let me in his basement, and
yep. We went out the back door,
yeah, and
and we found a secret tunnel in a grave.
yeah, it was a whole thing. But we also watched a movie called The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh my God! No, you know what? I might have been having a weird dream. Never mind. Carry on.
Yes, we watched The Cabin in the Woods from
Yep,
like 2011.
2011,
And
2012, something like
we both talked positively about this movie before,
that. Yep,
and I've seen it a dozen times, maybe.
I've seen
Um,
a handful.
yeah, um, yeah. Opening thoughts. Um, it's a lot of fun. It's one thing I noticed is it's really well paced. I was never bored throughout any of this.
No.
That time just flies by. I like the characters. They're sort of well drawn and likable.
Hmm.
It's got some really fun scenes towards the end. The plot and premise is great. I have two issues with it.
Only two.
Two issues with it that are that really one issue that really bothers me, and one issue that is an issue but doesn't really bother me too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's great. What do you think?
I look, I enjoy this film. It's not a perfect film, but
Yeah,
there is a lot to like from it. I
yeah,
like the dissection of horror movies
yeah.
without it necessarily playing into the fact that it's a. Well, obviously, it is, but it doesn't really play into the fact that it is. Does that make sense? It's like
You can
it's not
watch.
like something like Scream, for example, which
Yeah,
is itself a piss take of the slasher genre. This is horror movies. This is an
you,
overarching horror movie dissection.
you can watch, which is I before I started watching this again, I my thought was one of the issues I'm going to have with it is that the symbolism or the metaphor of which we'll talk about throughout, as you say, of sort of horror movies and the issues around modern horror movies and whatever is going to be so overriding that it's just too obvious. But I watched it again, and I think what you're trying to say is that you can watch this movie and enjoy it without paying any mind to the meaning behind it. It stands on its own,
Yeah,
and
yeah. You can.
the metaphor doesn't force its way to the front.
It's not something that you need to understand a lot about other stuff to really properly
Yeah, that
get.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So we open with some carved stone images of various. It looks like sacrificial ceremonies, which I'm sure won't play into the plot at all.
No, absolutely not.
And
Just
then
a, I had to put something over the top. It's like the notebooks in Seven. They're just there. They're just
yeah, they're
there
not
for
really important or
artistic
anything.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we open up in the scariest thing of all, two guys having a chat in their workplace about.
Yeah.
We've got Gary Sitterson and Steve Hadley, and
Hmm.
Hadley's they're trying to conceive, not Sitterson and Hadley, but Hadley and his wife, and she's baby-proofed the house, and he can't get into any of his stuff, and they're just talking and getting a drink
Mm.
and chatting the shit, and then we get
There's talk of women's issues. Uh, they talk about something having gone wrong in Stockholm,
yeah, well, a
and
lady called Lynn comes over from the chemistry department. We later
mm,
find out,
yeah,
and they talk. They talk. We don't quite understand what they're talking about, but something's gone wrong
no,
in Stockholm, and
and
they
it's down to these guys and Japan.
yeah, and Japan has a perfect record, and we're number two,
Yeah,
apart from
yeah,
1998, and that was the chem department's fault.
mm,
Do you know the thing that people say that's a reference to the faculty?
yeah. I'd heard,
Because
but
the faculty is a horror movie that's not quite standard, and chemicals are important for the kids who win. I don't know. I don't
I've not
think it's
seen it.
I
I'd probably get it properly if I had.
I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just they just picked a year, but
Yeah,
yeah, everything's gonna be fine because It's down. It's not the
'Cause
first time it's come
why
down.
wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's not the first time it's come down to Japan and the US. So yeah,
Mm,
we'll be fine.
yeah. And then we cut to an
Well,
American
well,
artist girl.
we get a very funny cut because they're driving off in their little go kart to go to the other part of the facility,
Mm,
and Citizen's concentrating on like his tea, he's trying to put the lid on or take it off, and Hadley's just prattling on, and they're just talking about, do you want to come over and like liberate all my cabinets, and like, are you even listening to me? And then we get like a jump scare title of The Cabin in the Woods.
mm.
I think I can't remember whether it was Drew Goddard or Joss Whedon were like, we thought it would be funny to open a horror movie with two guys talking about one of their troubles conceiving a child. We just thought that would be funny, and it is. It is funny.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get the title jump scare, like you say, and then we cut across to the main character of the film, I would say.
Yes.
Well, it's a group, but it's mainly her. It is. She's an American girl. She's in a room in her underpants and a shirt,
Yes.
and she's the nerd of their group. We
Well,
establish
well, she. It's not quite as clear
she
cut
is.
as that. Not really.
No,
Not really.
but I mean, in
She.
terms of how she is immediately presented, she's like
No,
she's clearly a nerd.
not really. I
No, but
don't
she
think.
is. She's a nerd.
No, I don't think so.
But she's a nerd.
No, she's not. She's had
She has
some.
very little else going for her. She's a nerd.
No, no. Just listen.
Yes.
Shut up. She's.
Rude.
No, the entire point of this is that these characters are not stereotypes. She's had a relationship with her professor at college. It's ended badly, so she's recovering from that. We meet her friend Jules, who's recently dyed her hair blonde,
Mhm.
and they're talking.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and there's talk of going to this cabin that Jules is part of. Kurt, his cousin, owns a cabin, so they're going there for the weekend so she can try and get over it. And they've invited one of Kurt's friends, a guy called Holden, and Kurt comes in and he's played by one of the Hemsworths.
Chris.
Is that Thor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played by Thor, and it's sort of established he's a bit jockey because he comes in with a football and throws it at them, and it flies out the window.
But he also understands the course that she's on. And
Yeah.
he recommends a particular book because the other one that she was going to read was basically covered entirely cover to cover by the professor. And therefore, she doesn't really need to read it. She needs to read the other thing so she can seem insightful.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we immediately get these are not stereotypes, and that's sort of a part that's brought up in this film. That Jules is mentioned as being a pre-med student, so
Mhm.
she's not an idiot. Holden is sort of cast as the nerd, the scholar, but he catches the football that's thrown out the window.
They are a pair of educated jocks.
They're yeah, they're smart college
Yeah.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
they like sports, but you know, there's more to them than that. They're not just tropes.
No.
You know, they
And then
are.
we meet with the stoner.
Yes,
Because we don't
Marty.
have stereotypes in this film.
Yeah, Marty may be a little bit close to the stereotype, but they all like him. They genuinely like him. It's not like, Kurt and Marty get on. If
Mm.
Kurt was just a brainless jock, he probably wouldn't be hanging out with someone like Marty. You know,
Yeah, no, of course.
I buy that group's dynamic and their friendship.
Mm.
I buy it. Incidentally, do you know why Marty is wearing a massive hoodie and never takes it off?
No,
It's because the actor is ripped. He's got like a six
Okay.
pack.
fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah,
God forbid they try and limit part of the stereotype.
so off they drive in their camper van, and we see there's a guy on the roof reporting that the nest is empty.
Yes. Oh no.
One of the things I've always sort of wondered how deep the setup in this goes from the facility people. Like, presumably they spend most of the year finding suitable candidates. Do they have like 4 or 5 other groups of people on the go just in case? What if they got in a car crash on the way? You know?
Well, as long as things happen in a certain order.
Well, they've got to have a backup, surely.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
But because if not, it all goes tits up.
Well,
But I suppose
quite.
there's argument for they might make it so that a car crash is incredibly unlikely, given the obvious authority
Yeah.
and power these people have.
They absolutely go out of their way.
But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Uh,
We go to Citizen and Hadley again, and they're entering like a control room, aren't they?
they are.
And they meet a new security guard, who's I can't remember his name.
No, I can't remember. He's not in the
Daniel
game.
Truman. He's the security
Yes.
guy, and he's new.
How does he feel about people being watched? I wonder. Just Truman.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that because he just seemed kind of uncomfortable because it's his first year doing whatever they're doing, and they say like, "You do know the stakes and all this sort of thing," and he's like, "Yep, absolutely." So they start getting set up in the control room, and meanwhile, Kurt or what's his name, Marty's prattling on about conspiracies.
Because he's a typical stoner.
Yeah, and they pull up to a gas station, don't they?
Yes, or a petrol station if you are not a Yank.
Yes.
But it's set in America, so yes, gas station.
Presumably.
And we have the stereotypical creepy guy.
Yes, that appears in not every horror movie, but a fair amount of horror movies. He's part of
if there's
the
a
trope.
Gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you are.
There's a creepy guy.
There's usually an interaction with a creepy older person, oftentimes warning the younger people of something, and they ignore him. And that's what this is.
Yeah.
He is the
Sometimes it's
harbinger.
religious, sometimes it's just arranged, sometimes it's both.
Yeah. And in this instance, he comes out, calls Jules a whore.
Yep.
And Marty
that won't mean anything later.
Well, Marty stands up for her.
Yep.
And
well, he's ripped, isn't he? So he should just bang the bloke.
And well, they get their petrol and they bugger off. Presumably, the facility have arranged it so that they will run out of petrol around this area, so they will have to stop at the nearest gas station.
Or it's just sensible for them to top up there because of the route, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's getting directions. Part of it's directions as well, isn't it? They're after. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've clearly set it up so that for one reason or another they will stop at this gas station. So one of my issues with this film pops up here because the Harbinger mentions the old Buckner place.
Yeah.
Now, the Buckners will appear later in this film.
Spoilers.
Yes, but they haven't yet.
Nope.
And it sort of bothers me that reference is made. You don't need it. It's too specific. He could have just talked about it being that place. Yeah, lots of weird shit happening up there. You know, because what if we get a killer robot instead? It's like that reference sort of falls flat.
Doesn't end up being the Buckner place. Just because
I know, but I just think it's too. It's too.
Is the Buckner's place irrespective of that, and therefore it's a perfectly reasonable reference to make.
No,
I get why you don't like it, but I don't think it's egregious.
No, I don't like it. I wish there's a couple of other references when they actually get to the house. There's like a picture of the Buckners on the wall.
Okay. But I mean that makes sense because it used to be their place.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It should just be a cabin that they use.
Okay, but for argument's sake, just entertain me here.
Okay.
What if part of why the Buckners are a thing at all is because of it being that place?
Yeah, but I just think
it's... And therefore that makes it the reason why that stuff doesn't happen.
No.
That stuff happens there now, in the modern day. That's why they've chosen that place, maybe.
Yeah, but then it's like... I don't know. I just think it would have been better if they just made it vaguely... Just made it vague. Just made it a creepy cabin.
Yeah, they could well have done. I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, it bothers me. It bothers me. Yeah. I also it occurred to me recently that maybe they've got other settings and that part of what we haven't seen in the setup is that the cabin was chosen. Like this year we're doing it at the cabin and not in the desert or, on that boat. You know, it,
Yeah, there's options
yeah,
potentially there, and they've gone for.
yeah, um,
We do. We get told that this cabin is by a lake,
yeah,
and they've got to go through a mountain tunnel, and we do see them do this drive through the mountain tunnel, and
yeah,
we follow the perspective of, well, not quite the perspective, but we follow a fly along with a bird, don't we?
yes,
Which reveals a certain something that we understand and we know, but the participants in the movie do not know.
yeah. There's a force field.
Yes,
What's
some
that
sort of
doing there?
invisible wall,
Do
and
you
it presumably
maybe?
kills the bird.
Do you maybe? Yeah, the bird flies slap bang into it.
I mean, yeah,
It's just
falls
maybe foreshadowing. Do you think maybe that scene should have been cut? That maybe the first time we find out about the force field should be
later. I think
later.
yes.
I suspect it would have been more impactful.
No pun intended.
I mean, it would have been because we when the force field comes up later, we know exactly what's going to happen
We do, whereas
because
we
we've
didn't.
seen it happen exactly the same before.
If we were led to believe that they had a shot at success
Yeah.
and it was taken away from them, we would in theory, feel the same emotions that the characters feel
Yes,
in that point, although on a lesser scale because they're the ones in it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, they get to the cabin and they start settling in,
Yep.
and Holden.
And it looks creepy in that typical creepy way.
Well, I think that shot is. In fact, I know that shot is a reference to the same shot in Evil Dead, where they arrive at the cabin.
Ah.
Um, yeah, it's a creepy place and a bit sort of mucky. And Holden goes into his room, and there is a picture of what we can assume is the Buckners on the wall hunting and cutting up this deer in a creepy way. And he's like, "Fuck that!" Takes it off the wall. Oh shit! It's Dana in the next room. There's a one-way
Oh no.
mirror, and she starts
getting undressed.
Yeah, and he feels a bit uncomfortable, but he's also interested. And at a certain point, he's like, "No, okay, no," and he bangs on the wall and lets her know, and they end up switching rooms. And
Because that's the appropriate thing to do.
yeah, absolutely. And then Dana's sort of watching him take off his clothes, and he doesn't waste a lot of time.
No, he doesn't, does he?
And she's sort of into it, but she puts the painting back up and then covers it up, I think. And
no, I think she just covers it up. No, I can't remember.
I feel like I can't quite remember
she definitely
either.
covers it up.
I feel like she puts the painting back on the wall and then is like, "Oh God, I'm not looking at that," and then throws a sheet over it. But
yeah, probably. Yeah, I watched it like in prep for last week.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't. I watched it late. Never mind.
Well, we cut back to the control room and they're monitoring stuff, and it's like, okay, there's been a room change. McCreary and Polk have switched rooms. Let's make a note of that. We'll just keep an eye on things, and we notice that the Japan scenario is occurring.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of kids in this classroom freaking the fuck out because there's a scary Japanese ghost woman floating around and approaching one of them. And it's like, okay, well, that's going to take care of itself. Everything's going to be all right. Hopefully. I mean, it's not like these Japanese kids are gonna do some sort of magical Shinto ceremony and save the day, is it? That'd be silly.
No, that would not be possible.
So we're back at the cabin, and it's night time, and they're drinking, and it's been mentioned that the chem team have put something in the hair dye for Jules to sort of dumb her up a bit. Presumably, they're doing similar things with the others to get them to fit their respective roles.
Yes, yeah, because they do sort of start leaning into movie stereotypes a little bit.
Yeah, this is where we're sort of herding them into what they need to be.
It's worth noting. I think we've slightly skipped past it in the actual films process.
Oh,
we do see that the people in, I've called it an office.
You're right.
The facility, whatever you want to call it. They're discussing betting.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, go on.
Yes, they are betting on what are effectively horror entities.
Well, we don't
see a whiteboard at one point.
Yeah, I think we see that later. We don't quite know that yet. There's a discussion where one guy goes up to Citizen and hands him a piece of paper, and Citizen's like, "I don't think we have one of those," and he's like, "Zoology swear we do."
Yeah.
So that's
curious which one it is.
Yeah, that's kind of intriguing.
I assume it's the angry molesting tree.
Yeah,
Personally,
which we see later.
we do.
Yeah,
You know,
we yeah, the security guard's a bit uncomfortable, and it's sort of explained that this is sort of like what we're doing is really fucked up, like this job, um,
mm,
but we sort of need something to take the edge off because otherwise we're just going to go fucking insane.
exactly. You know, and
It's
rightly so, I would say.
yeah, it's like policemen making jokes, dark jokes, because they need
Yeah,
that to get through it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so
So they're betting on something. It's a bit
yeah,
iffy, but like it's explained away by them.
yeah,
Yeah, and we end up getting the teens have their. I'm assuming they're teens. Yeah,
yeah. They're
teens.
college kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
College is weird in America, isn't it? Because it's like,
they all look about 30.
yeah.
They do
The
not
fact
look.
that this came out about the same time as four. You know,
Yeah, they
Chris Hemsworth was literally doing this and fucking playing four. So
they never look 18. They never cast 18-year-olds for these things.
no, maybe they should.
They probably it would be more impactful watching like an 18-year-old get murdered.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you just go to college.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they end up playing Truth or Dare, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes, and the blonde Jules gets dared to make out with a wolf taxidermy
Yes.
on the wall,
Are you sure it's not
and
a
she
moose?
does. I'm pretty sure it's a wolf. No, she gets really into it, doesn't
She
she?
fucking sells the shit out of that, man. She's like,
That is
she's got a
uncomfortable to
scenario in her
watch.
head that she's in a bar and she gets noticed, and she's like,
Like you know, I'm a bit of a wrong one.
yeah.
That was uncomfortable for me.
Oh my god.
Like it's not. It's. I think it's supposed to be a bit.
It is. It absolutely is. Well, it's supposed to be. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times it's sort of lost on me, but it's supposed to be a jump scare thing. You're supposed to think, oh, that thing's going to come alive and bite her. That's kind of the vibe I got watching it. Like you're supposed to expect something to happen because she's putting herself in this vulnerable situation, and it's a creepy. It's a horror film going into it.
Yeah.
Um, but it still works as just a sort of gross thing, a gross set piece. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a bit of something happening in the cellar.
well,
There's a noise in the cellar.
the door flings open, at which point Kurt
Yeah.
says, "It must have been the wind."
Mm.
And Marty's like, "That doesn't make any sense because they're pumping him full of chemicals too, and they've dumbed him down considerably."
Yeah.
And it's Dana's turn, and Kurt says, "Well, she's gonna pick truth. Well, she's gonna say she's gonna do dare, and then she's gonna wimp
And she
out
won't do it.
and do truth instead, which has always
Yeah.
been my way of. Well, no, I always just choose truth, but the door
Carry
blows
on.
open, and
What's the worst someone's going to dare you to do?
uh, I don't know.
Exactly.
Depends on the people. I don't know
Well,
what I might
exactly.
end up doing if you have anything to say about it.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be anything too terrible. Jesus. I'd
Um,
have to watch.
um, yeah, Dana gets dared to go down in the cellar, and she does. And she's looking around, and again, there's like, I know you don't have an issue with this, but there's a lot of Buckner shit down there. Like immediately, we see a painting of the girl or a picture of the girl and a picture of the family standing outside the cabin, and it's like, this should be vaguer. This should be more general. I might be the only one who has an issue with that, but
I think you might be.
I
Again,
might be. But I still think world
it's.
building wise, it's too Buckner focused. It should be more general.
I mean, we see a lot of other things
I
that relate to a
know,
lot of other.
I know, but
It's not.
I know, but it's just like there's more Buckner shit than there should be. That's maybe an issue only I have, but
It is.
it
I
would
think
be
I'm
remiss
almost
of me
sure
not
it
to
is.
mention it.
Okay.
But yeah, as you say, there's a lot of shit down there, and there's like a well, she gets freaked out because she sees the painting of patients and it startles her, and the others come down and start looking around, and there's a book that Dana picks
Hmm.
up and is reading, and Kurt picks up a conch, and he's about to blow it properly, and then he spies a puzzle thing, a puzzle ball, He starts playing with that, and Jules sees a necklace over like a wedding dress on a mannequin, on a store model mannequin display thing,
Hmm.
and Holden is what's Holden doing?
Is
Oh,
one of them
it's
has the conch still?
no, Kurt puts that down.
I swear that one of them still has it when she reads out the Latin.
No, no, he
I
picks.
swear.
Well, I saw this yesterday. He
Okay.
he picks it up. He's about to blow it, and then he sees the puzzle box and puts it down.
Mm.
Um, Holden is yeah, he's got it's like the Sugar Plum Fairy music box thing that he's playing, and even Marty, who was like, we should probably get the fuck out of here, gets distracted by a a film reel, so he's looking through
Mm.
that, and it's the music is telling us that something is about to happen. They're all playing with these things, and then Dana draws everybody's attention, and she reads out a passage of Patience Buckner's diary,
Yep.
which describes various horrors and violence committed, and how
Very sadistic, tortury sort of
she got
stuff.
her arm cut off, and there's something about some sort of dark way, some religion thing that they follow, and then there's a Latin phrase,
Don't read the Latin.
and then there's a ghostly whisper of "Read it out loud, please. Read the Latin." So she does, and from the ground emerge the Buckners.
Bodies.
Yes, the Buckners have won the
Oh,
betting
who are the
pool.
Buckners? There's no mention of the Buckners at all.
Well,
Who are these?
there is zombie redneck torture family.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. The Buckners happen.
they may
That is
be,
the winning bet.
yes,
The maintenance winner betting.
they may be, and Ronald the intern.
And
Uh,
Ronald the
yeah,
intern.
they may be backwards pain worshipping idiots, but there are backwards pain worshipping
And of
idiots.
course, the chem department have an issue with this betting pool because they had money on zombies,
Yes, and Citizen,
which are an entirely separate
yeah,
entity to the zombie redneck torture family.
Citizen points out that it's the difference between an elephant and an elephant seal,
Hmm.
which is nice. Incidentally, on that whiteboard,
Yep.
we see it for the first time, werewolf,
Yep.
alien beast,
I have it in
mutants,
front of me. So
yeah, mutants, wraiths, zombies, reptilius, clowns. There's all sorts of shit. Um,
witches and sexy witches.
yes, the sugar
Which,
plum fairy, dismemberment goblins.
yeah.
There's
Merman.
a giant on there, and yeah, so there's a whole heap of stuff that people have been betting on.
We Hader really wanted it to be a merman.
Yeah, and Citizen voted for the Hell Lord, but yeah, you're right. Hadley is very depressed because he had
Hmm.
the conch in his hands, and it's like, yeah, another couple of seconds, who knows what might have happened. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm never going to see one. And it says, be thankful because the cleanup on those things is a nightmare and they're terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like the
Um.
Buckners have a 100% clearance rate. We should be all right.
We do see that Berlin and Rangoon have failed as well at this point.
Yeah, I think they mention there's a bit of world building. It's right at the start actually, where they mention Stockholm and citizens. Like, yeah, that scenario was never very
Yeah.
stable. So they're
Hmm.
doing there's like a giant monkey with horns on its head, which is like a kaiju thing, and there's some sort of people have suggested that maybe one of them is like a disaster movie type thing because there's volcanoes erupting, and we never get too much information, and it is
No, it's better for it.
it is. I mean, I this is one of those films. I think the only thing I actually actively look up fan fiction for every now and then, just to
Well,
get some sort of let's see what this other scenario might have been. And there's not all that
is
much.
there much erotica in the scene? I might have to check that out.
There's some Kurt or some Dana Marty love
No, it
fic,
doesn't
which I
look
don't have any interest in.
no.
But what you might have interest in,
Hader and Merman probably.
but what you might have interest in is the fact that Kurt and Jules are getting horny.
Yes, just before they go out into the woods to try and fuck, the Marty the stoner does point out that the gang are all acting a little differently.
Yeah,
Yes, just that a little illusion that maybe he spotted something.
yeah, something's clearly going on. Kurt is
Yeah.
being a real bro. Jules is like fucking dancing in front of the. She doesn't do shit like this.
No,
And she's sort of teasing Marty a little bit and all this sort of stuff. And they head
it's not
outside.
normal for them to do
Yeah,
that.
they head outside to have sex, and Holden and Dana are chatting, and they're getting a little frisky with it, I think.
It's intimate, isn't it? It's
Yeah, he's wearing glasses as well, and
yeah,
that is a point of no consequence whatsoever, apart from in my head where it's like, oh, he's wearing glasses. He hasn't done that previously in the film. I wonder whether they've done something to or set something up previously where they've deliberately gone out of their way to make this guy need glasses specifically to play into his role. Yeah,
you're overthinking, man.
maybe a bit, but it's just
You are.
I don't care. I love this movie. I love
Sit back and
overthinking it.
enjoy the film.
But it's one of those little image things where it's like he's wearing glasses now. He wasn't before. It's
Yeah,
sort of
well,
they are moving further and further into their roles.
Troy McClure couldn't play the piano before Dr. Zayas came along, but he
Yes.
can now. What's the problem?
Well, yeah, Marty goes back to his room to read,
Yeah.
and Kurt and Jules
Come
are
on, let's go to the fucking. Go to the fucking.
yeah, yes, in the control room, they're just as eager, and they get into the glade, and Jules is they're making out, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm too cold," and in the control room, for fuck's sake, it's like watch the master at work, and he pumps up the heat, and they're
Yeah.
pumping pheromones in there, and they
going,
cast
yeah.
light on this lovely little glade. They've got the whole thing sorted.
Yeah.
So Kurt and Jules are sort of making out, and I think he goes down on her, and all these nerdy
Right,
scientist guys are
They
watching.
want to see. They want to see breasts. That's it. That's what they're after.
Yes.
Because there needs to be a show for the guys downstairs.
Well, yeah, the security guy's like, does it really matter if we sit? And they're like, we're not the only ones watching.
Yeah.
It's like, which is it's a fun little reference because it's the audience as well. We'll get into the whole metaphor thing because really the people watching, the important people watching in the universe of the film, are a metaphor for audiences, the general consuming public. But yeah, we see them. There they are, and they roll over, and they're on the ground, and Jules is on her back, and she's reaching out with her hands, and the throes of ecstasy, and oh my god, a fucking knife comes down and stabs her in the hand.
Oh no!
It's the Buckners! Yay! Welcome.
Yay! And there's a bit of a tussle, isn't there?
Yeah.
Where Kurt fights them off a little bit. And it's like, oh, go run, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she gets her head cut off while he watches.
And it's kind of difficult to watch for me because I like Jules and I like Kurt and I like their relationship, and it's more impactful than just typical horror movie fare because it's meant to be. You know, yeah. Jules is dead.
Yep. And the office guys say a sort of prayer.
Yeah, they're not
style thing.
They're not rejoicing in this. There's proper reverence in that
There's a
moment.
solemn tone there, isn't there?
Yes.
And then they pull a lever,
and
that lever breaks a
vial of blood,
seemingly blood.
Yeah.
Which sort of goes into like an arch drive, like a carving.
Yeah.
Drawing thingy. Yeah.
And
so yeah.
Yeah, we cut back to the cabin, and Holden speaks a little Latin, so he's looking into the transcription to figure out what it is, and the whole reason he was invited is because Dana needed a fuck, basically. And yeah, and they sort of make out a little bit, and meanwhile Marty's hearing stuff. There's a whisper that says go for a walk. He's like, no, I'm not going to. I'm in charge of my own brain, damn it. I think I'm going to take a walk. So he leaves, and as he passes, he's like, he has a husband's bulge, which is a term used in Patience's diary to describe how her brother Matthew gets when he kills.
Erect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Marty heads outside, and he's taking in the night air, and there's no stars.
Having a piss.
There's no stars, which is weird. And
he's also having a piss.
Yes. We notice behind there's what we know to be
figure.
Yeah, Patience. One of the zombie people.
All right, calm down. I just want us to get to
it. Moving behind him, and he doesn't notice this, and then all of a sudden, fucking Kurt runs out, having now wrestled his way out and escaped,
covered in blood.
Yeah, and he's like, "Fucking run!" He arm slams Patience,
and
gets in the house and is freaking the fuck out, and Dana's like, "I'm not leaving here without Jules," so she opens the door, and there's Matthew Buckner. And he throws Jules' head at her.
Yeah.
And we find out,
All right, and off let's go.
yeah, we find out that she was a brunette apparently before she dyed her hair, because the blood is sort of soaked in and messed up the dye. Um,
Is that how that works? Is it not just
I don't know.
blooded?
I've
I don't think
always,
that works like that.
I don't think, now I've said it out loud. I don't think it works either.
Jesus, Ben, just because you got no hair doesn't mean you don't need to know anything about hair.
I don't know anything about hair dyeing.
I don't either, but I still know it don't work like that.
Well, regardless, they force Matthew out and they lock
Oh,
the
I
door.
wonder why her blonde hair doesn't look blonde now, but she's covered in blood.
Well, all right. I just never really thought about it too much. They,
That's the thing you haven't thought about
all right. They,
in this film.
all right. Yes, all right. They lock the door on Matthew, and they're trying to come up with a plan. And Kurt says, "Right, we go room to room. We board up. We stick together." And of course, the control team don't like
right.
this. So they pump him full of chemicals again. He's like, "Actually, let's split up. We can cover more ground." And the others agree. And Marty's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So they
again,
do.
alluding to the fact that maybe he knows something more.
They go into their
Or has worked
rooms
something
and
out.
and the doors are locked behind them. Great, gone where
Yes,
we
they're
want them.
trapped in their own room.
And Marty finds a
A hidden
surveillance
in
camera.
his lamp.
It's like, what the
Knocks it
fuck?
over. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I'm on a reality TV show. My parents are going to think I'm such a burnout.
They try and they being the facility alpha style people, they're like, "Look, we got to do something about this." But he gets grabbed out the window
Yeah.
by one of the zombies.
Judah Butler to the
Redneck family
rescue.
members. He gets knifed in the back and he gets dragged away.
There's another one
Blood
dead.
splatter occurs.
Yeah, another one's dead. Right, they do the thing and they crack the vial and there's a bit of an earthquake. It's like,
Yep.
someone's enjoying the show.
Mhm.
And we also see, as this happens, that Japan has failed. I think this is
a
where we
little bit
see
later,
it.
but yeah,
Oh, all right.
it's not much like. Basically, the only thing between now and then is Dana and Holden end up going down into a basement to escape.
The black
because he
room, I
breaks
think.
through
Again,
the
my
main
little
door.
headcanon, and you're not going to like this. Again, I think that's a bit too specific. So my headcanon is that's sort of a separate room that the kids are meant to discover at one point, which adds to the whole mystique of it all, and it's interchangeable depending on what the monster is.
Okay.
Yeah, they get out. They there's a fight with Matthew, and Dana stabs him a shit ton of times, and they electrify the knife, so she sort of reflexively drops it, which is great. And they get out and meet with Kurt and get in the RV, and off they drive. And yeah, I think it's Japan now. It doesn't really matter, but the point is,
this is where in my notes we find out that Japan has gone south.
Japan has failed. The kids, turns out, they do know a Shinto ritual, which is great, and they're very, very happy, and the evil has been defeated, and now the spirit of this ghost will live in this happy frog.
Forever.
And citizens just like, fuck you! How hard is it to kill 9-year-olds?
Yeah.
It's like,
Shouldn't be that hard.
yeah, now it's just
Americans
us.
do it all the time.
Yeah. No. Yeah, killing a bunch of kids in a school. Are you sure this wasn't meant to be the American ritual?
Yeah. Of course, there's another problem.
Yeah.
These guys are driving out through the mountain tunnel, and
Oh,
the
shit.
cave-in didn't happen.
Shit!
There's meant to be a cave-in.
Yes.
Everyone's panicking because there's going to be a cave-in and it's not working. So Citizen, it is Citizen, I think,
Yeah.
makes a break for it, and he ends up running through the bloody facility to sort it out because, and everyone's like in the way. It's like,
Yes.
clear a path, get out of the way, and they're
Yeah.
not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Because why would they do that?
Yeah,
And then he makes it blow up.
yeah, he's like pulling shit out, and eventually he blows it up, and it's fine. They just managed it to stop them from getting out, and they sort of the kids drive the RV out, and it's like, what the fuck do we do now? Wait a minute, we've got that bike.
I would not have wanted to drive that backwards.
No,
It
well,
did not look like there was space for him to turn around in there, and to then have to reverse out. It looks too tight. Oh, but that's not fun.
yeah. Well, none of this
But
is
no.
fun for him.
Well, no, but that's like if I'm driving as a driver, I would fucking hate that.
Yeah,
Because you don't get a lot of visibility in your mirrors,
no,
and it's not like they can just go out look out the back because it's a fucking RV, isn't it?
yeah.
Camper van. So anyway, yeah, Kurt's like, oh, actually, you know what? I could probably jump this gap
Yeah.
with his motocross bike.
Yeah.
And he's going to go get help. He's going to get help, and he'll be back no matter what.
Yes. He's going to
That's
get
what he says.
cops and guns and tanks. And we're going to come back and we're going to make those fucking things pay.
Yep. And then he immediately wipes out in a fucking wall.
Yeah, it's going so well. He jumps and he's going across and then splat. And then he sort of bounces his way down. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Holy shit.
So now what
Marty was right.
Yeah, now what the fuck do we do? Well, they get back in the...
I completely agree. And I know we agreed on it
Yeah.
here, but it would be better if we hadn't seen the bird do that.
Because it's like... I know why they put that in at the start. It's like suggesting, oh, there's more going on here. But we already sort of know that.
Yeah, we don't need to see the bird fuck up.
Yeah.
It's a more beneficial payoff
Yeah.
for the film in terms of the emotional highs and lows if we don't know that he's going to wipe out.
Because if he hits the force field now, it's like, first, it's, oh shit. And we didn't see that coming. It's more of a shock. And secondly, it's like they've thought of everything.
Yeah.
So the next thing, I guess, let's just drive through. We'll just drive through. We'll go out the other way. We'll get there. And Dana's like,
There's got to be a way.
yeah. Dana's like, there won't be a way. The road will be blocked or something that we won't be able to get out. She's catching on that there's more going on here. And Holden's like, you gotta stay cool with me because you're all I got, Dana. And they're chatting, and oh my god, he gets stabbed through the fucking neck because I think it's the dad, Father Buckner, has stumbled aboard and waited all this time to do something, and
then it ends up in the lake, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The vehicle.
And
there's this whole, can she get out?
Yeah, she climbs
she's
out
on the jetty.
Yeah.
And oh my god, someone's trying to kill her now.
It's Matthew again, yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay because her death is optional as long as
they're all partying. They're opening a champagne bottle, and it's like, fuck, that was really close. And the security guard's like, I don't get it. She's still alive. It's like, well, it doesn't really matter if she lives or dies. It's
as long as she's last.
As long as she suffers, and she has suffered, and that's, it's fine. We did it. It's over for another year, and
whilst they're partying, on the screen behind her, there's on the screen behind them, you can see her being
getting the shit kicked out of her
to be killed.
And Hadley has a moment where he's looking at it. It's like, God, I really sort of feel kind of connected to her because she's tough and she's gotten through it. Oh, tequila, yay! And they're partying, and it's a typical office party because Hadley's chatting with a couple of guys who are like, "You did that was awesome," and he's like, "Yeah, it would have been cooler with a merman." And there's a guy who's chatting up a lady, and it's like, I got 2 tickets to your favourite ballet, and then she just walks off. And Ronald the interns.
There's an interruption.
Well, not quite yet.
Yeah, there is.
Well,
whilst they're
hang on.
the phone rings.
Well, hang on, because we get a moment where Hadley or Citizen is like talking to the maintenance people. It's like, you knuckleheads, and like we have this wasn't us. Something weird is going on, and then we get the phone call. And
they mention a power reroute from upstairs. And the phone rings.
Yes. And like Citizen and Hadley share a look, and it's very serious. It's like, turn the fucking music off. Hadley answers the call. This is clearly something important. It's like, which one? It's like, oh, okay. And if you think about it, it's pretty obvious which one.
Yeah, realistically. Because someone is still alive.
Yes.
Who is it that helps save Dana?
Marty.
We gotta go back, Marty.
Yes. He whacks. He beats
with his telescopic bong.
Yeah. And he saves her, and they run through, and they go into the grave where the Buckners came out.
He found a thing in one of the graves because he's managed to fight back.
Yeah.
And hack them up into basically mush and a hand.
Yes.
Or whatever. Like, there's not a lot left of this.
Yeah.
Thing. We did it with a fucking garden trowel, I think he says, or something like that.
Yeah. It's an elevator they're in.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. There is an elevator.
I think they fit. Do they know?
There's a hidden cave. They catch up, and then there's an elevator. He goes in. It's like we can get in this. I think it's an elevator. I think we can go down because where the fuck else are we going to go?
Like, what are we going to do? Yeah, let's go down. So they go down.
It's more like a turbo lift than an elevator.
Well, it's sort of like a Rubik's Cube style setup they've got because everything is sort of shifting around it to get this cube back into where it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And as they go down, they sort of they pause for a moment and everything's black, and then a fucking werewolf runs at the glass from an adjoining cube.
Yeah. We see all sorts of monsters. We get the werewolf as a sort of ghosty thing, in a Hellraiser style thing, which has one of those music puzzle box thingies,
Yeah.
and in words that I described, a creepy little bitch with teeth face.
Yes, this is the Sugar Plum Fairy, apparently.
Okay.
So if the music box that Holden was playing with, if that had gone through, they would have been dealing with that. So
Hmm.
that would have been interesting. But yeah,
And she Dana spots that the Hellraiser style thing is carrying like the puzzle box thing,
yeah,
and she's like, okay, so we chose.
yes, she realizes what the deal is, sort of.
Yeah.
And we get a great pan back, and we see just a shit ton of stuff. We see zombie. Did you see the boomer from Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
in there. There's a creepy clown. There's some angry rabid dogs. There's zombies. There's just a whole heap of just everything you can imagine is in these boxes.
Well, for example, somewhere in there we don't necessarily see it, but there's an angry molesting tree
Yeah,
and a giant snake and a
yeah,
Kevin.
yes, yes, and yeah. I've actually, because I'm, as you may have gathered, I'm so into the world of this film. I own the visual companion,
Okay.
the Cabin in the Woods visual companion, and there's some really interesting behind the scenes stuff. Because one of the things they did, the production team behind this, incidentally, one of the owners of this is the girl who played Nancy, or the woman who played Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street. Um,
Okay.
One of the things they did is they did all the obvious stuff, and then they were like putting like a spider in a smaller case, and it's like, okay, giant spider, and then they were like putting people in slightly too small boxes, and it's like, okay, now we've got giants, and someone sticks his head through with a green screen. It's like there's a creepy floating head. So they went for it, and it's really interesting just to see all that shit. And meanwhile, the control room is freaking the fuck out. It's like, okay, where the fuck are they? And they do find them. They find their box. It's like, we're bringing that through. Security, get down there. Do not shoot her before you kill him. Kill him first. Then you can kill her afterwards. But make sure she does not die first. Um, so
Yeah.
they arrive and the door opens and in comes the security guard with a gun. And he's kind of freaking the fuck out. And he's like, you
Oh
need to
yeah.
come out from behind her. And then he gets
And the
freaked out.
hand grabs
The
him.
hand grabs him and he gets freaked out. And then Marty whacks him and he knocks his head against the door and is knocked out, maybe even killed.
Mm.
And the last we see,
And
the
the hand
hand is
keeps on crawling.
crawling on his face. God knows what the fuck his face is going to look like after that, but yeah. So out they get, and they're in this sort of lobby with loads of elevator doors. And then there's a voiceover reassuring them, saying, you know, this is something we've been played out for a long, long time. This is more important than you can possibly imagine. Why don't you just give up? Let us get this over with. And they refuse, and they hide in sort of this sort of officey booth, don't they?
Yeah, it's sort of like a security booth I took it
Yeah,
as.
yeah,
Outside the elevators. It's the most logical thing for it to be based on.
yeah. It probably is. And
And there's an awkward button in there.
well, yes, there is, which is going to come in
This is
handy.
this is the thing I have the issue with.
I do too. A bunch of guards come down and they're just opening fire, which is stupid and precisely what they
Doesn't
were
shoot the
told
glass.
not
It
to
hits
do.
the glass, but it doesn't do anything to it.
They were told not
That's
to
not
do
as
that.
effective.
Why don't you just send a guy around, kick the door open, and do it that way? But I guess
But
everybody's
they've got a gun now at this point as well.
everybody's on edge. Everybody's fucking panicking. And as you rightly say, they have picked up a gun from this guard, and
Yeah.
there is that button, and it's labelled System Purge, I think.
I do not disagree with the idea of there being a system purge button. I think it's fucking ridiculous that they would have it there.
Why don't you disagree with the idea of them having a purge button? What is that for in your mind?
I would say that it would be the last ditch attempt to see things through. If absolute this is the last opportunity we have to see this through before daybreak, as we learn is the deadline for this. If that is the absolute only option left, I can see why they would have that button.
Are you suggesting it's intended to dump everything up on the surface?
I mean,
Or is
obviously
it?
not, because it ends up dumping it all down here.
Well, yeah. Is it in the event that somebody does get down here, we just dump them in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
It makes sense that they would have, because
The button makes sense for placing the button.
this organization, this facility is so prepared. It just kind of makes sense that would be an eventuality. Why it's a big red button in the security office
Next to the
that
entrance.
just dumps everything out right in front of
That
you.
is something. That should be something that is inside the control room.
Yeah.
Unless it's a circumstance where it's like there's a system purge and then there's a secondary system you're meant to act in place to actually kill all this shit as well. Maybe,
You'd
but they
assume.
just don't do.
You'd assume.
But again, it's not.
Yeah, you'd assume it'd be the sort of thing where, okay, we need the director to authorize this. She's got a key.
Yeah.
She's the only one. It's like an eye scanner or a fingerprint scanner. I guess the alternative is you have a scene where Marty is fiddling around with wires or shit in the control room trying to get something sorted. I don't know what. And then you cut back to the main control room and they're like, oh fuck, he's accidentally activated the system purge. And then the security guy's like, what's that?
That would work for me.
The security,
I could work with that.
Yeah, the security guy's like, what's that? And they explain, oh, that's
we don't even need an explanation. We just cut to the room.
Well, it would help if it's like, yeah, no, you could do that. Or you could have the explanation where it's like, oh yeah, that's last ditch attempt. Or maybe it is just a case of, oh fuck, he's fucked up the elevators, are all dumping out.
Yeah. But no, like I say, if they're having a button that does that, I think it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I think it should be in the control room. That is the one major. It's not even a major issue, but it's the one thing that I'm like, that's stupid.
It is one of those
one
things.
Specific thing I think is just stupid.
It is one thing that is frequently mentioned. Incidentally,
I don't engage with the community or the fan base or any of that shit, and it's that's how obvious it is.
Yeah.
I'm not part of this overthink it group that people are.
Well, there's some noises and the elevator's coming down, and the guard turns around and is like, oh shit. There's a ding, doors open, a shit ton of stuff comes out and just butchers everything. Can you?
Hell breaks loose.
I don't know whether you've looked this up. Can you, off the top of your head, name what comes out in that first wave?
Well, I mean, there's some sort of bat-like creatures.
Yes, that's the dragon bat.
Obviously, there's the angry molesting tree,
which grabs a guy, pulls him in, and then a shit ton of blood pours out. Yeah.
I feel like there is it's a purge style family.
No, they come out later, not in the initial.
Okay. Do the Hellraiser style things come out?
They come out again, but later. Do you want me to tell you?
I don't really care.
Okay.
To be honest,
we get the dragon bat, the angry molesting tree, the zombies, the dismemberment goblins, the giant snake, the killer robot, a witch, and a werewolf.
Okay.
And that's just the first of many, because another team shows up. All that's left is the zombies, which are gobbling away, and we see the giant snake just go around the corner. And
doesn't something fall from the ceiling?
Yeah, there's some guts have ended up on the ceiling, fall down. Zombies turn and look. And
it's very much like the hallway after the elevator scene in The Shining at this point. It's all blood every fucking
Yes, they made a real fucking mess of this, and then there's another ding, and it happens again.
Yeah.
And we see basically everything's being released. We see the doll family and the Hellraiser people. There's like an alien facehugger prawn monster type thing, and everything is coming out now, and Dana and Marty are just hunkered down and waiting. And
well, they end up making a break for it.
Well, only because the dragon bat smashes through the window.
Mm. They make a break for it. He ends up shooting something in the head.
It's a mutant, apparently. And
fucking know.
Lots of shit happening in the background, because there's a guy on the floor being followed by a girl who's singing "Ring Around the Roses," and we see the facility's just gone to shit. There's a woman who's trying to shoot a clown that just comes over and presumably kills her. Someone gets killed by a unicorn. There's a werewolf. Just all this shit is happening in the control panel. The control room's freaking the fuck out, because like something we can't use the gas because something's chewed through the cable for it. It's like just everything. Every screen is just going fucking crazy. This is falling apart.
This is precisely the
one thing we didn't want to happen. Yes. So Dana and Marty run into a guy working there. He gets smashed by the dragon bat, which blows a hole through the wall, and the dragon bat
Yeah.
flies off, and they get in there to escape some zombies.
We do just before this. We do see the merman.
Yes, the control room, something is banging on the door, and it's later revealed that a bunch of scarecrows have gotten through, and they're dealing with the security guy who blows himself up.
Yeah.
Hadley was shooting a giant spider, and
Hmm.
is caught in the explosion, sort of knocked to one side, and something is approaching him through the smoke, and it turns out
Yeah.
it's a really interesting, fishy, gross-looking merman, and even he sees the irony in the situation. He's like, "Oh, come on!" And then it
Yeah.
noms him, and blood shoots out the blowhole.
Yeah.
Citizen and Lynn, the chemistry woman, trying to get this door open. They just manage to do it. Then the fucking Kraken bursts through and grabs her and takes her off.
Yeah. So he goes through into the down
Yeah.
the hatch, and he's about to make a break for it. And oh my god, Dana stabs him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
And the last thing he does is
And
he begs her to kill Marty.
yeah, pretty much. And then they end up stumbling into the, as I labelled it, blood mural wall room.
Yeah, it's sort of a temple type thing.
Yeah.
And
And they come to a realization that it's part of a ritual sacrifice
yes,
process.
and Sigourney
Yeah.
Weaver shows up.
Oh my god, one of the modern movies, I say modern movies, one of the last 50, 60 years worth of Final Girls.
Yeah, which is rather fitting. I actually read a fanfic where she is a final. That character was a final girl in a year event, and the merman was involved. But anyway, she talks them through it, and it's like, well, we've been doing this for a long time. The only thing that has remained consistent is the fact it's got to involve young people. We've got 5 archetypes. We've got the whore, which was Jules, the athlete, which was Kurt, the scholar, which was Holden, the fool, which was Marty, and the virgin in Dana. Dana's like, well, I'm not actually a virgin, and she's like, look, we work with what we've got. We make
Yeah.
it work. And she basically says, there's these gods. They're called the old ones,
I have ancient.
ancient ones, or whatever.
How many times have you seen this film?
I can't remember every detail like that.
We've got the fucking Wikipedia page there.
It doesn't. Yeah. No, it is on there. Yeah, the ancient ones. If they're not appeased, they'll destroy the fucking world. And it won't just be
Yeah.
like ending it. Everybody is going to die in fucking agony. You need to kill him. And it seems like Dana's taking the argument on board because she holds the gun up and is about to shoot, maybe, and then she gets fucking nommed on by a werewolf.
Yeah.
Instead, Sigourney Weaver was apparently very, very excited to be with the werewolf.
Oh.
It might be the only reason why the werewolf's in that scene. But she was very, very excited about seeing a werewolf. And
Okay.
she and Marty get in a fight.
Yep.
And
Patience turns up,
yeah.
and she attacks Sigourney,
yeah, Sigourney's
and then
dead.
she ends up getting kicked over the edge.
Yeah. Marty shoots the werewolf, and Dana's left alone, and they sort of sit down and decide, well, if that's the way of the world, let's just let it end. And this is sort of...
There's an apology as well. It's like, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry I let you get... Yeah, I'm sorry I let you get attacked by a werewolf and also ended the world.
Yeah, sorry I nearly shot you.
Yeah. And they decide that it's time to give somebody else a go. And they just leave it. The sun presumably comes up, and giant hand shoots through, kills them, world ends. End of movie.
Cut to black. There's one last line of amusement to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Kurt has a cousin.
Yes.
I don't even think Kurt has a cousin.
Again, part of the setup. But that's sort of the metaphor for this entire thing. That's what this film is about. It's about the horror film industry, and I guess about movie making in general, that producers and directors are sort of forced to adhere to this sort of genre-based, cliche-ridden thing because that's what audiences like. And if they don't do this, audiences won't like it, and they'll be held to pay. And it's time to break that system and embrace creativity and do something different with it and all that good stuff. And that's good in terms of symbolism and whatever. But if you take that away, Marty and Dana are two traumatized kids who are kind of high, saying, "Yeah, let's end the world, man." It's like that's not a good thing to do.
No, not really. In the
They,
grand scheme of
they
things.
you should have shot Marty because, as Sigourney Weaver says, everybody is going to die in agony. This is not going to be nice. And
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's Cabin in the Woods. I really like this movie, and I think it's great. In fact, I did have a thought while watching this that it would probably make a good video game to play as the
Yeah, it could
facility
do.
people, where you have randomly generated kids and a randomly chosen monster, and you have to shepherd them into their deaths as best as possible. And yeah, you could do that. That would be fun. I'd play it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
it makes a change for you to find a game
yeah,
you would play.
yeah. What did you think? A Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, I like the film. It's all right. It's good. I've seen it before. I'll watch it again at some
Mm,
point in the future. I'm sure. It's like most of what I thought. I said at the start, to be honest
mm,
with you, in terms of the
yeah.
substance of the film. Like,
Do you have a best and worst performance?
I have a favourite and least favourite performance.
Okay, fair.
My favourite performance is actually two performances, and that's because they only really come together. You only really see them together, and they would be Hadley and Citizen.
Mine too.
I feel like collectively they are a singular character
Yes.
as well. I mean, they're separate, but they work as a pairing, and they really sell the seriousness and the experience of the scenario that is going on. I
As,
feel like it works really well.
as well as being goofy.
Yeah, like
Um,
these are people who have been doing this a long time. They maybe get a little complacent because of it, but like they know what they're doing.
well, yeah, yes, yeah, they're very very good at their jobs, and
It
you
shows.
you can sometimes see the toil it's taking on them. Like they are doing terrible stuff, but it's like dark humor to keep going and whatnot. And
Yep. Hmm.
yeah, I don't have a worst performance really, or a least liked
I didn't really
performance.
think much of Holden.
Yeah, I kind of
I feel
agree with
like
that.
he's probably the weakest of the group.
Yeah, he
I know we don't
is.
see an awful lot of Jules, but
Well, I think we see a fair amount of her.
not enough.
Mhm. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I not allowed to act like the ancient ones?
No, no, I didn't have an issue with that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't entirely disagree, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's Cabin in the Woods. So yeah, what do you got for us next time then?
Yeah. So next time it's another animated movie.
Okay,
This is an animated kids film
okay,
from 2006.
okay.
Would you hazard a guess as to what it might be?
Is it Shark Tale?
It's not Shark Tale.
Good.
It's Flushed Away.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Flushed Away. I've not seen it in a few years. I remember enjoying it, so I figured, fuck it, let's put that on the list.
Why not? Why the
Why not,
bloody hell
indeed?
not? But
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks for joining us, and
Yes.
I'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.